welcome back to another one of my live streams. Today I'm here with gorgeous Addie. She's going to be my model for me tonight, and I'm going to demo my very favorite everyday smoky eye that's super simple and very wearable for day and for night. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I already went ahead and prepped her skin, go ahead and look up, with a really glowy primer. It's called Becca Backlighting Primer, and it is so amazing. Addie has like amazing skin, so I really wanted to play that up. Go ahead and close for me. So what I like to do, if I want to do like a really quick smoky eye that's really easy and easy to blend, I really love to use a kohl eye pencil. This one's Makeup Forever. I like Makeup Forever. I like Urban Decay, and I like Marc Jacobs. So the reason I like a kohl pencil instead of a gel liner is because it's super soft and it doesn't dry very fast, so you can really smudge it around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it near her lash line and wiggle it in between those lashes, but then I'm going to brush it up onto her lid and I'm going to smudge it out in just a second. Look down for me. So I'm going to get it on her lash line, and then I'm going to get it in her waterline too. You've never had your makeup done before, right?
No, I've never had my makeup done.
Well, you're going to be a pro after this. It's definitely weird to have somebody do your waterline. Go ahead and look up if you've never had makeup done before. But you like makeup, right?
Oh, I love makeup.
You're a makeup fan?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and look up. What's your normal, like, day-to-day look?
It's usually pretty natural. I wear a little bit of foundation, and then usually just some mascara. I like to use highlighter a lot.
I love highlighter. Look down.
And so, if I'm not going anywhere, I'll put on a lot of highlighter.
Go ahead and close. Yeah, when you have awesome skin like Addie, you can just throw on the highlighter, no foundation, you're good to go.
Well, thank you.
That's awesome. So I did her brows too before we started. She has great brows. They're dark and they have a good shape. So on her, you could skip the brows. But when you do a more bold, smoky look, I feel like it brings more balance to the face if you do something to the brows. Go ahead and close. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this is a pencil brush that's really dense and flat. I'm going to go back up on her lid, and I'm going to smudge that liner just a little bit. So I'm basically just buffing the top away so there's no line, but we're going to go in with a dark powder after. Okay, this side. So sometimes when you do like a darker eye, like a smoky eye, sometimes it can be tricky for people because you really have to get your blending right. But if you do it this way, like the smudge technique, it's really easy and it's really fast. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a pretty big, fluffy blending brush in the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. And we're going to go in with the shade Orange Soda. And I'm going to do like a transition color, and I'm going to bring it all the way down her lid. So usually when I do my transition color, I leave the lid bare, but I'm going to go all the way down. So the way I'm going to do the smoky eye tonight is I'm going to brick lay my colors. So I'm going to start with this lighter one, and then I'm going to build and go darker, and that way the blending is already done for you. Like when you get to the dark color, it's already blended. It's not going to be hard to buff out. This palette is so pretty. I got it when it came out, the Soft Glam palette, and it works for everything. It has like the best neutrals. Okay, same palette, next color. This one is Burnt Orange. Actually, we're gonna go in with Rustic. We're just gonna go ahead and start going into the darker ones right now, because she's more on the tan side, so she can carry the dark color. So I'm gonna buff this all over her lid and then bring it up into the crease. What are your favorite brand of highlighters?
I think it's called like the Becca. I think it's by Becca, like Champagne Pop.
Oh, I love that one.
I don't have it, but when I see all the other YouTubers use it, I'm pretty like I like it a lot.
Awesome.
I also like the Anastasia holographic palette.
Oh, I haven't tried that one. That one has like the cool colors in it and stuff, right? Like the green and the blue.
Yeah.
That's super fun. Turn a little bit more towards me. Good. I have a Champagne Pop. If I have it in my laid out right now, I'll use it on you.
Oh, cool.
Then you can try it. You guys can probably already see. So the backlighting primer that I did on her, like if you like glowy skin, it's amazing. You can put it on before your foundation, you can mix it in, but it has like a sheen to it, but no shimmer. So you can see, like I put it here on her, I put it on all the high points of her face. Okay, I'm gonna go in a little bit more with that color, just to get a base. Now I'm gonna go in, this is the Cypress Umber from the same palette. This is the darkest brown in the palette, so we'll use that and then we'll use a little bit of black. So same thing, and you can use the same brush because you keep going darker with your colors, so it doesn't matter that there's other colors on the brush. The only time, like if you want to use a fluffy brush for everything, the only time you need to switch your brushes is obviously if you're going lighter, like if you have black on this and you wanted to do a highlight, you'd have to switch. But another time you need to switch is if you do like an opposite color, like for some reason if you were doing yellow and then you put blue on top, it would turn green, like the shadow that you were putting on wouldn't be the actual color. But that's more for like colorful looks. Usually if you stay within the same color family, you're fine. So these are all matte so far. If anyone's in the chat room, let me know if you want to see a matte smoky eye or if you want to see me add some shimmer to the lid, because both would be really pretty. Open for me. Perfect. I love the way like a really soft smoky eye makes the eyes pop, because you look like very done and very pretty, but it's not, like this isn't super harsh. Okay, so on her, if you were really fair, this brown would be enough, but on her, I want to deepen up her eyes just a little bit. I want to add a little bit more drama, so I'm going to go in with the darkest black and just buff it in a little bit near the corners. Go ahead and close. And I really like this black. Sometimes matte blacks are hard to come by. Like sometimes they'll go on kind of gray. So if you wanted to do a look that was like day to night, like let's say she was just, this was her day look, it's glam, but it's nothing too crazy, and then she's going out at night and she wanted more pop, you would add more liner. So I did a brown liner on her, which is pretty soft and pretty natural. But if we were to do a black, like more bold liner, it would give it more pop. Okay, I'm gonna clean up under her eyes. So when I did the smoky eye, I wanted it to V out a little bit. I wanted to extend her eyes, so I brought it down a little bit, and now I'm going to clean it up with some micellar water. Okay, look up for me. So this is just cleansing water, so I'm just going to get any fallout that went under her eyes, and then just sweep this up a little bit. Okay, other side. Sometimes you'll get more fallout than others depending on the palette you use or the brush. This is pretty good. Alright, I'm going to add a teeny bit of gel liner. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like with more pop, but you could leave it at this. So I'm going to grab, this is Smashbox, this is the black gel liner. With smoky eyes, I feel like it's all about the lashes too. Like if you're gonna do a smoky eye and you have really short natural lashes or they're thin, it's just not gonna have that pop than if you, even if you added a really natural lash. And Addie's excited because she's never worn lashes
I'm
before, so
pretty
we're gonna put some
excited.
on. It's gonna be amazing. All right, so for liner, I like this like flat shader brush. And this liner dries really fast, so you have to work quickly. Okay, look down for me. So I'm going to tight line her a little bit because her lashes are so black naturally. I want to add a little bit of this black, like that, the brown liner that I was using wasn't giving me enough pop. Okay, go ahead and close. Good. So what I did was I wiggled it in between her lashes, and now I'm just massaging it in her lash line, basically. Like I don't want it to be a line, so I'm wiggling it, and that way it blends it out. you master tight lining, that is like the #1 thing that makes your eyes totally pop. Look over this way for me, good. And keep looking down. Perfect. Okay, close. So same thing, I'm just wiggling this in. What I want to do is cover any skin that's peeking through her lashes. Like sometimes we'll do our makeup, and if our liner's not close enough to our lashes, you'll have like those white spots between your lashes, and it just kind of kills the look. It's not good. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do our lashes. First I'm going to curl her natural lashes. And look up just a little, down a little bit more. Perfect. Does that pinch at all?
Nope.
Okay. It's definitely weird to have someone else curl your lashes. It's weird to curl them on camera because I feel like it looks way more aggressive than it really is. Unless I'm being gentle to Addie. Okay, so I grabbed my lash book, and I think on Addie today we're going to do, these are the Ardell faux mink, so they're not real mink hair, which is good. No animals are harmed in the creation of these lashes. Okay, and then I love the callus glue. This is my favorite. I also like that it has like a little, actually I'm going to have you open it. I put lotion on it before we went live.
If I got it.
Thank you. Perfect. It's probably a little sticky. Okay. I trimmed these lashes before we started. You always want to cut your lashes if you need to, so try them on first. When you open up the pack and you pull the lash off, they'll have like a little bit of adhesive on them that's just made to stick them on the lash, and you can use that. You can pop it on your eyes and they'll stay just so you can see what it looks like, and then you'll trim it and put your actual adhesive on. And I always trim from the outside corners. Okay, go ahead and look down, but don't close, and if you need to blink, you can. So when you're doing your own lashes, what you want to do is flatten out your eyelid. That's why I had her look down. So if you're doing your own, you actually want to tilt your head backwards. So hold the mirror down and tilt backwards, and that will flatten out your lid, and you'll be able to get the lashes really close to the lash line. And if you're doing a client, you can have them look down. I always tell them to look down but not close their eyes, because when you close your eyes, your skin folds. So when they open their eyes, if you put the lashes on with it closed, it'll like pop off. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. Put on the other one. If you guys have any questions, now is a good time to ask, because putting lashes on isn't the most visually interesting thing. I really love like the lash clusters, the individual lashes. They take a little bit longer to put on. When I used to live stream, I would put those on people, but they take too long. But they're so pretty. They're my favorite. Also, anyone in the chat room, let me know what videos you guys want to see next. I had some really good suggestions on my last video, so I'm excited. I'm going to put together a live streaming calendar so you guys will know beforehand what we're going to do some of the time. Okay, look down. Have you ever done a smoky eye?
No, I like makeup a lot, but I'm not very talented when it comes to it. And so I will like experiment a lot, but never tried a smoky eye before.
Pretty. I feel like kids just have it so good now. You're in 9th grade. She's going into 9th grade, so you're still young. But it's like, I feel like you guys skip the awkward stage, because you can just hop on YouTube and learn how to do whatever.
Yeah.
Not that you need makeup to not be awkward, but I don't know. I just feel like all my little teen clients are so cute. Alright, so what you need to watch for with lashes is definitely the inside corners, because our eyes naturally water, we have more oils there, so that's going to want to pop off, so you want to keep an eye on it. Because there's nothing worse than like a couple hours into the lash wear to have them like flying off. Alright, while that dries, and you can already see, if you look into the camera, that made a ginormous difference just to add the lashes. It just balances everything out. Otherwise, you just have a dark lid with like nothing else going on. And even though she has super flawless skin, we are going to add a layer of foundation. When I go a little bit heavier on the eyes or I do a smoky eye, I feel like it looks better if you have a really clean slate, so I like more of an even skin tone. If we were going for a really soft, natural look on her, we could totally skip the foundation. But this is Makeup Forever. And this is actually, if you put on a thin layer, it's very sheer. So we're just gonna do a little bit. And you can see that primer that I put on, it's still like glowing through the foundation, which is super, super pretty. This is like amazing for brides. If you guys do bridal work or you're getting married soon, you need this primer in your life. It's called Becca Backlighting Primer. They have one, that same brand Becca, they have one that's blue too. I think it's called a brightening primer, and that one's really pretty too, especially if your skin is a little bit dull and you want that brightening. The blue just brightens everything up. Okay, turn towards me. A little bit more. And I really like the Beauty Blender because I feel like it absorbs the excess product, and it does a really good job spreading it around. I used to always use a foundation brush, but I just love the way this looks. Like, it looks airbrushed. And it presses it into your skin, so it's gonna last way longer. If you use a buffing brush, it just kind of swirls it around, but this presses it in and it gives you more of a smooth finish. Okay, if you wanted to go really dramatic with this, you could do some cream highlighting and contouring. I have a video, it's not a live stream, it's an edited video, and I show how I like to highlight and contour with creams on it, and it's really fun. But for her, I'm just going to use powders, but we are going to do some concealer under her eyes. Let's see, and I didn't color match you before, so let's see what color we'll do.
Ooh, I could use a famous Shape Tape.
Yeah, famous Shape Tape. It's pretty light. This one's a light medium. Let's do actual medium. Maybe. Yeah, Shape Tape is awesome. I kept hearing about it from people on YouTube. They're like, I love Shape Tape. I'm like, you can't all love Shape Tape. Because under eye concealer is hard. Like, you want a lot of coverage, but you don't want it to crease. You want it to be long wear. Like, we really expect a lot from our concealer. And nothing delivers. But this, it delivers. Okay, that's better. I want the medium Tarte Shape Tape has more of a peach undertone. And with her skin tone, if I don't put some peach or some warmth in it, it's going to look ashy. So, turn towards me. And mixed them. I usually like my aesthetic, I like the under eyes to be a little bit lighter. I feel like it's pretty. Alright. So I kind of gave her a wing, so when I cleaned up those shadows, I winged it out a little bit, so I'm going to make sure that I keep that with the concealer. So same Beauty Blender. I have like a little baby one that's for under the eyes, but I always forget to put it on my tray before we do makeup, but I love it. This one I just squeeze it tight and then it's tiny. But again, I like the Beauty Blender for under the eyes because it's going to suck up like the extra, so it's not too cakey. And with the Tarte Shape Tape, you really don't need a lot. Especially if you're older, like a lot of people, when you have more mature skin, it's even harder to find a good concealer because you do really have to worry about the cakiness. And this one's good. You just have to do a really thin layer. I'm just going to buff it in. So I always do my concealer and then I'm going to go ahead and do more shadows under her eyes. Gorgeous. Okay, let's powder her a little bit to set that. This is Laura Mercier. Go ahead and look up for me. I'm just going to set it so it doesn't crease. This is like the best under eye setting brush. It's by Real Techniques, but it drives me crazy because it's like pink and not black, so it doesn't match my other brushes, so I always try not to use it, but alright, I am just going to powder under the eyes. I'm not going to powder anywhere else because I want her to be really, really glowy, but I am going to use a powder contour. So let's go, let me see, okay. This is Too Faced. This is the Chocolate Soleil, the medium. And on like medium to tan skin tones, it's like the best color. And it's a bronzer, but I feel like it works well as a contour too because it's not too orange. Sometimes when a bronzer is like very bronzy, like super orange, very golden, it doesn't, like you can't really contour with it. It just kind of looks off. But this one has like a little bit of red in it, and it's not a cool tone, but it's more cool than a really warm bronzer. So usually what I like to do, I almost always do people's foreheads unless they have a really small forehead, then you don't want to bronze it because you'll make it look smaller. And I go under their cheekbones, turn towards me. Just really good cheekbones. And I think I'm going to do, actually not sure what kind of lip I'm going to do on her. I think like a relatively nude lip. So we're going to do like a warm bronzy blush. But first, I'm going to show you guys another trick. So one thing I like to do when I highlight and contour and I really want the cheekbones to pop, I'm going to turn you this way a little bit. Good. I like to bake the jawline a little bit. So I just put some translucent powder right under where I contoured and I bring it all the way to the mouth. And that's just going to brighten that area up. Turn this way for me. Good. And it's just going to make her jawline look super chiseled, have perfect cheekbones. Okay. So anytime, when you see people putting like light powder over their makeup and letting it sit, it's lightening what's underneath. So if you want to highlight this way, you can. I don't like to do a lot of it because it can look a little bit cakey. But I really like the way it looks under the cheeks. I don't let it sit very long. Okay. And this is one of MAC's mineralized skin finish blushes. So it's very shiny. It has kind of a sheen, a little bit of glitter. But it's really pretty if you want like a glowy look. Alright, let's do under the eyes. And I think for under her eyes, I think I want to keep it more with a warm tone brown. I don't think I'm going to do black under there. So I'm going to go back to the shadow, and I'm going to play with these two colors. So this one has a lot more orange in it. This is more like a muted brown. So I'm going to start with this one and see how it looks, and then only use a little bit of that brown color. Okay, go ahead and look up. So this is the rustic. And I'm going to bring it all the way in. So sometimes with that kohl liner, because they are so soft, they can get broken down by our natural oils pretty easy. So like when we first did it, it was super pigmented, but now that it's been on for a little bit, it's softened, which sometimes, sorry, turn a little bit more. Sometimes people like that look. I think I'm going to add a little bit more just to darken it a little bit. Another thing you can do is if you want to set it, you can add a powder eyeshadow over top. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with that same brush I did her liner with, and I'm going to go into that Cypress Umber color, the darker one. Look up for me. And I'm going to wiggle this in her lash line. I want to smoke that out. Whenever you wiggle a dark color in between lashes, it's going to make your eyes more dramatic and it's going to make your lashes look thicker. It's a really good trick. Look up for me. So before we do the mascara, I'm just going to add another line of this liner. Also, she's used to me prodding at her face now, so it's probably not as crazy for me to come in with this. This is way easier to do to yourself. Okay. Actually, let's do, okay, this is another tip. So when it comes to like the tear duct area, if you want it to be really natural, don't do liner in there. If you want the eyes to pop a little bit more and be more defined, more like Princess Jasmine eyes, do some liner there. So I'll show you what it looks like. Go ahead and look up for me. Now look over this way and up. Good job. All right, other way. Okay, look forward. So you can, it's super subtle, especially the way I did it, but it just circles like the whole eye. It gives them shape. It's really pretty. Okay, now we're gonna do some mascara. Maybe. I have my mascara ones. So with these lashes, I always do mascara. Like, they're dark already, but I just like to darken it up. Sorry, one second. I have so many of these lash wands. I used to do lash extensions, and I would order those like in packs of 1,000, and I have so many. But it's good because you use them for makeup too. And I always, like, on my mascara, I cut the brush it comes without. Like, it is gone because I always use these little ones for clients. Okay, look down for me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to smush her natural lashes in with these lash strips, these extensions. Because I want these extensions to look like she grew them herself. Okay, turn this way. And sometimes, like, if someone has really, like, hardly any natural lashes, you don't really need to worry about pressing them in. But I usually like to put some mascara on the tips of the strips. Go ahead and look up for me. I'm going to do your bottom too, because it makes them stand out a little bit more. If you like the mink lashes, like the really nice pairs that last for a long time, they're usually more expensive, like $30. Don't put mascara on those. Do mascara on your lashes, look down for me, before you do your makeup. And then they'll last longer that way. Okay, I'm just gonna get the mascara off my hands, and we're gonna do lipstick, and then we're done. Okay, so I think I'm gonna line her lips a little bit before I do the color, just to give them a little bit of a peach tone. This is Boldly Bare by MAC. This is a really good lip color to have. I really love this one for my more warm toned nude lipsticks. And then they have a pinky one. I think it's called Edge to Edge. I really like that for like my pink tone lipsticks. So we kept everything very bronzy. Like, I did the warm bronze eyeshadows on her. I did a warm toned blush. So I'm gonna do a warm toned lipstick on her too. Okay, so these are mostly on MAC, my little lip palette. I think I'm gonna see what Honey Love looks like on her. I think I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of Spirit because I don't want her to look too washed out. Honey Love is a super, super gorgeous nude because it has some color to it, so you're not gonna look like foundation lips, like you just threw concealer on your lips or something. I also like Myth. Myth by MAC is like a complete nude. It's super light, but I really like it to mix in with things. It has a super pretty undertone. So if I have a lipstick on somebody that I like love the tone, but I want it to be like a little bit more nude, I'll mix it with Lip and or Myth, and it's so pretty every time. Yeah, this is like a very true nude on her with a little bit of a peachiness. So the lip liner will alter the tone of your lipstick, and it also helps it last longer. So when I do a smoky eye, I want the rest of my makeup to last too, because if it starts to all fade out and I'm just left with these dark eyes, it's not my fave. And I really like, there's kind of two types of lip liners. There's like the really creamy ones, like the ColourPop, that go on so easy, they're amazing. And then the MAC ones are a little bit more dry. to put on. Like, you have to work it a little bit more. But I actually like those better because I feel like the dryness lasts longer. So if you want longevity, I like those. If you want one that's just really easy to put on, I like the creamy ones. All right. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm going to show her. I'm going to find a mirror for you. Okay, but first, we recorded like a little before look before we went live and also before I did her lashes. So we're going to play that for you. And actually, I forgot her highlighter. So we're going to play the before, and I'm going to highlight her with Champagne Pop.
Oh, cool.
Yay. Except for it broke, which is the saddest thing.
I feel like all the YouTubers are like, they're all broken.
It's because, so these like highlighters, the Becca ones, this is my only one that's broke by Becca, but they're so soft, like they go on so good, and I feel like that's why they break. So I feel like if they changed it so that they didn't break, they wouldn't be as amazing. I'll give you some though, because it's broken. I'll put it in a little pot.
Thanks.
I'll send you some for being my model. Okay, turn this way for me. This is the Anastasia highlight brush, and it's amazing. It puts the highlights on so pretty. So I usually highlight before the lips, but I forgot because I like to put a little bit of highlight above the upper lip. But it's so pretty. I love Champagne Pop's really, really good if your skin tone has any bit of a golden undertone. Even if it doesn't, even pinky undertones look good with this, but it's like the perfect slightly gold highlight. Okay. Spilled Champagne Pop on you. All right, we played her before. And this is her after.
Wow. It doesn't even look like me.
You're such a babe.
Thank you. This looks so good.
Awesome.
Wow. I'm so
Well,
impressed.
thank you for being my model. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was super fun. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and tune in next Thursday. Bye.